Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV, and tonight we've got another special guest in the house. We've got Phil, who's a Leeds fan from nearly 40, was it 40, 50 years? 50 years almost now. Phil, how you doing, mate?
Something like that, yeah. The last 16 years made it feel even longer, but yeah, I've been watching them since the early 70s.
Fantastic. You like the shirt? Got an old City shirt on. I was actually trying to get a shirt from a City shirt from the last time you guys were in the top flight, but sadly they're all in museums now. It's that long ago, mate. It's that long ago. I've been working on that, but no, it's been a long time. It has been a long time, and we've missed you. And I know you've missed being obviously knocking around with the other big boys, because you guys are big boys. So how does it feel to finally be back in the big time?
It is absolutely amazing. I mean, seriously amazing. I mean, over the years, it's been horrible. I mean, you guys did it. You went down to Division 3. I remember the old Paul Dickoff and Gillingham and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And we've done the same as you did, and some of it has been horrendous. Losing at places like Sutton and Hereford and Newport and Rochdale. It's just been horrible. But to finally do it, and sort of as an older Leeds fan, we expect to be in the top division, and we expect to be in the top division challenging at the top, because that's what we used to do and that's what we're used to. So to actually finally get back, I mean, I'm not ashamed to say I cried when the lad from Huddersfield put the ball in the West Brom net, and if you find me a Leeds fan who didn't cry when we went up, I'll find you a liar.
Well, usually I cry when we go down, but you were down for that long, then it's a different emotion. I mean, it was nearly a false dawn. Obviously, it was a false dawn the season before, when it looked like you were home and hosed almost, and then it didn't happen. And then last season, it looked like you were home and hosed again, and it just suddenly, the pack, which were miles away, suddenly got very close. Did you think you were going to go, and mess it up again?
Not last year. And actually, the year before, I didn't think we'd mess it up. And we didn't run out of steam. I think they just started to believe the hype, and maybe took their eye off the ball. And at the time, both Norwich and Sheffield United just kept grinding results out, and there was a big game at Norwich and a big game against Sheffield United at home, which we blew. But last year, the turning point was a game at Forest. We got beat on TV. We got beat 2-0. And that was the point where everybody, I think we were level on points with Fulham and Brentford. And everyone thought, right, Leeds are falling apart again. But actually, we went to Brentford and played them off the park. We only drew 1-1, but that was the turning point. From that point on, yes, obviously you worry. But the last 2 years of football have been absolutely sensational. And yes, we didn't go up the year before, but we've been the best team in the Championship for the last 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually rolls on nicely to my next question, because talking about Marcelo Bielsa, and looking from the outside, we don't know too much about him. We just know he likes a fag. He's a bit of a smoker. I don't think speaks much English. He comes across as an oddball. So, I mean, obviously, you guys he's managed you for 2 years. So, what do you think of Marcelo Bielsa?
Absolute 100% legend. I mean, we've had 3 great teams over our period. We had the Revie team, we had the Wilkinson team, and we had O'Leary, who took us to semi-finals of the Champions League. Bielsa is already up there with Revie. The man has completely and utterly changed Leeds United, the culture of the club, the city, everything. The man is a football genius. The football we play, and hopefully you'll see it on Saturday, is fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant football. And we watched a lot of shit in the Championship, and actually, I've stopped watching Premier League football for a long time ago, because it wasn't of any interest to us. But actually, watching the stuff we've seen this season from other teams, it's nothing like what we play. I mean, what you lot play is very similar to what we play. But it is amazing football, and the man is a football genius, and I'll give you an example. He came in 2 seasons ago, and the year before I think we ended up 13th, 14th, just a rubbish team. And he started the first game of him being in charge with pretty much the same team at Stoke City, and we thought, I've got some feedback there. We thought, oh shit, what's going on here? And we actually murdered Stoke. We played them off the park with the same players, and he is a proper coach. He makes players better. He's not like the idiot down the road from you who's always asking for new players. And he's not like Fat Frank. I need new players. He takes the players he's got and he makes them different class. I mean, up 3 or 4 different levels. The man is brilliant, and he's a legend. I mean, there's already huge murals on the side of houses in Leeds. And, the best manager since Revie, without a doubt.
I bet there's a few kids being called Marcelo in Leeds these days, and newborns.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned obviously he takes players and takes them to another level, and I'll come on to Jack Harrison in a bit. But I just want to know, you have spent a bit of money this summer, so who have you got, and do you reckon they're any good?
Well, the 4 big. Well, we've signed a couple of players we had on loan last season. So the goalie Melier, who you saw making 2 brilliant saves last weekend, was on loan last season, and we've signed him full time. The same with Costa, who we got from Wolves. Yeah, very good right winger. So those 2 were in the squad already. He's added 4 major signings, or 3. One's going through today to make it 4. Rodrigo Moreno, who is Spain's number 9. He's played 3 half games, and already you can see the guy's class. He's bought a guy, German centre-back, called Koch. Not Koch, Koch.
I was wondering how you're going to say this. Yeah.
But we've had weeks of cock jokes online. So
what's he called? Nobby to
his mates. And then last week we bought.
Nobby to his mates.
No, I got it. And then last week we bought another central defender, Llorente from Sociedad, who hasn't played yet, so I've not seen him. And then apparently we're buying a lad from Bayern called Michel Cuisance, or Mickey Croissants, as he's already been known, who's supposed to be a really good midfielder. So there are 4 major signings, but we've also bought quite a lot of young kids to bulk up our under 23s, and there's a couple of lads there who are already we're getting good noises from. So he's added 4 to the squad, and that's probably what we needed.
You spent a bit of money, haven't you?
Yeah,
but you got to.
Yeah, but we've not done what Fulham did or what Villa did, and bought a whole team. He's basically stuck with the majority of the team. I don't think we've got rid of anybody apart from Ben White, who we didn't get rid of, but we couldn't get back. So he stuck with the same team and added to it. I think he's done well. The one that'll be really nice will be to add in Dan James from that lot down the road. That'd be really good.
Yeah, giving an extra dimension. I'm going to ask you about Jack Harrison. Obviously, he's a City player. He's never played for City. He's come from New York City FC, and then he's gone out on loan to you guys. He's been with you guys for 2 seasons. And from all accounts and bits and pieces I've seen, he had 2 really good seasons with you guys. So what can you tell me about him, and how much do you think he's actually worth? Because I think last summer you could have got him for about 15 million quid. Because you didn't get promotion, you didn't do it. And I don't know why you haven't done it now. But how good can he be, and how much do you think he will be worth after this season in the Premier League?
I think what happened was, I think we had him. I think we had the option to buy it. I think it was something like 6 million. And what they did was they've continued the loan purely for a financial thing. So they're knocking the actual payment of buying him further down the road. Yeah. And I believe it's up to, I haven't got my numbers right, but it might be up to 9 or 10 or something like that. Okay. It might be higher. So Don't beat me up if I'm wrong on the numbers. When he first joined, he was a bit frustrating. And in fact, most of his first season with us, the big frustration with him was he's got great feet. He has got a wonderful first touch. His first touch is sensational. But last season, his crossing was frustrating. It would go too far. It wouldn't get near enough. It would go over the bar, all that sort of stuff. And he didn't contribute enough goals either. But last season, he's really upped his game. And that's all coming from working with Bielsa. And he is a really, really good player. He's a really good player. He's a good old-fashioned direct winger. He's got fantastic feet, but he also is a grafter. So he'll work backwards as well. But everybody in the team has to graft for Bielsa. Yeah. And yeah, I think we've nicked him from you. I'll tell you else. We may well be a steal from you. So there's a lad called Ian Pervader.
Yeah.
We got last season. We've only seen a little bit of him, and he's a proper old-fashioned fast winger. He looks like a good kid.
Yeah. We heard lots of good noises about him at City, but it's hard to get through at City. That's the issue we've got with kids. You have to be absolutely incredible or a City fan to stick it out at City, and everybody does move on, and it's part of the business model. And City fans find it difficult to accept that. We make a profit every year, a small profit, because we sell players and because we sell kids. When Aaron Moy, when we sold him, we made about probably 8 or 10 million quid. That changed us from having an operating loss into a small profit that season. So that's how we do it, and we've just got to accept it. If someone's exceptional, they'll come through. But we'll also lose a few, like Harrison. We might, if we lose him for 10 million, well, I dare say he's worth a lot more than 10 million. And we just got to accept it. That's just the way we do things. He had a good start to the season, Harrison, as of Leeds. I mean, the first two games were both 4-3s. One, a loss to Liverpool at 4-3. And then I think you beat, was it Fulham? So you've had a decent start. I think it's a decent start to the season. What do you think of your start to the season? And realistically, what do you think you can achieve this season?
It's been a great start. I mean, the game at Liverpool was a free hit.
Yeah.
And actually, the really odd thing is, at the end of the game, we came away disappointed that we hadn't at least drawn, and we could have quite easily drawn that game. So that was fantastic. The way we showed up like that. The Fulham game was a bit bonkers, and then the Sheffield United game was always going to be a tough one. And great finish from Bamford on that one. In terms of start, I think 6 points out of 9. Fantastic. Obviously, we've got you lot on Saturday, which again is another free hit. But you've not started brilliantly, so there's a little bit of sneaky hope coming over the Pennines. But you could just as easily tonk us 5-0 as it ending up 3-3.
Yeah.
It really, really depends. But there's no way. We're not a team and we're not a club that's done the old, we're coming up with, as long as we finish 17th, we're happy. I think most Leeds fans, and me included, are expecting a mid-table finish. Sort of, I would guess, somewhere around your sort of Southampton, Newcastle, I don't know, Brighton, Palace sort of position. And I don't think we'll be in any trouble. And I think there'll be games where we'll probably get a tonking 2 or 3 times, but there'll be 2 or 3 games we'll scare some teams this season. Yeah. We really, really will.
I've got to be honest. If you can't finish above West Brom and Fulham this season, and possibly West Ham, then you're in trouble. I mean, they look. Yeah. They already started pretty poorly. You look a different class to them. You've got goals in you, and that's obviously in the Premier League. That's a big thing, is having goals in you. Even if you let a few in, as long as you're scoring some, you've got a chance to win games. I can ask you then, which City players are you most worried about for the game on Saturday?
I think maybe Sean Goat and Paul Dickoff. Are they still playing for you?
I tell you what, if they played up front for us, they'd still be scoring goals. I've got no fears about that. But you've got
as I said, I've not watched Premiership football for years because we've not needed to. But obviously, you know, De Bruyne, Sterling, you've got class all through the team, and as I say, you could give us a tonking, but you know, even if you do give us a tonking, it won't because we've come and parked the bus. We'll give you a go. We'll give you a game. So I think we're scared of all your players.
Okay, let's turn it around then. Let's talk about the players. You know, who should City fear? Which of your players are the ones that can surprise us and the ones that can make a difference?
I think that again, this is an odd one. We're very much a team rather than players who will. I think what will surprise you will be the way we play, because we play very similar to the way you guys play, and there'll be lots of triangles, lots of moving players around, lots of overloads on the wings. I think the one player who might surprise you is Moreno, the Spanish number 9. He's got really good feet. The player who played brilliantly last season was Pablo Hernandez. He was sensational last year. He's got the magic in his feet. Whether he can do it in the Premiership on a regular basis this year, I don't know. So if he plays, and he may or may not be playing, he might still be injured, he will make a difference. But it's a team. It's very much a team rather than anybody standing out.
Yeah, I think that's one of. Sometimes I feel at City where you see the way sometimes we fall apart. We're not got that team spirit that I think we had a couple of years ago, and that concerns us. I think my final question is going to be a score prediction from you, Phil. How much are you going to beat us by?
I tell you, I think, as I say, it's either going to be 5-0 or 2-2 is my prediction.
Wow. I don't think we'll taunt you. I think everybody's got a chance against City, and I think I've said it most games this season. I expect teams to score against us. Pretty much. Apart from Burnley last night, everybody has a chance against City, and we've let in, off the top of my head, in 4 games, we've let in 7 goals. All right, 5 against Leicester, but we are looking at a little bit rock. I don't know what to say. I say 4-2 to City. I think there's got to be goals. I think each side is going to get something. It just really depends what City do. I think, if we go behind, we've seen that we struggle really badly when we go behind. I think we need about a 3-goal lead to start to feel comfortable, which is ridiculous. But I'll go for a 4-2, big, goal-scoring game. Have you got any questions for me, then, Phil?
I mean, one of the things we get the cliche about is sort of Guardiola being a disciple of Bielsa.
Yeah,
is that the case, or is that just nonsense?
I don't know if he's a disciple, but I think he respects him and looks up to him. And I think he's talked about him in the past and about the influence of Bielsa, and other managers have as well. So I think his influence is there around the world. Bielsa, he's not someone that, obviously before he came to you guys, he's not someone that I think most general football fans in England knew too much about, but it's the way people talk about him with such reverence, with such respect. So I'm not sure about disciple, but there's definitely that a lot of mutual respect. And I think if you ask Pep, who are your 3 people you've learnt from or respect the most in management, I suspect Bielsa will be one of those 3.
Yeah. Where do you think you guys will finish up this year? Because you seem a bit hot and cold at the moment.
Warm and cold. If we don't pull our finger out, we won't finish first. I think Liverpool are on a different level. I'm not just saying that because sometimes you play your own team down a bit. I think Liverpool are on a different level, and I think even if we get 90 points, I don't think we'll win it with 90 points, and it's going to be a tough. I think it's going to be a tough all season. We've got a lot of frailties. We saw against Leicester, once teams that have a go at us, we do start to wobble. And we are a bit of a mess in the middle and at the back when teams have a pop at us. Wolves could have scored at least 2 or 3 goals when we played them at Molineux the other week. So it's a worry. I think we'll finish second right now, unless we make some changes, one or two changes in either personnel or strategy and tactics. We've gone away from having Fernandinho screening the defence. And when we got the 100-point season, when we got all the domestic trophies the season after, we had Fernandinho in front of the defence. People think the loss of company is what's really hurt us, that Colossus defender. But he didn't play too many games. The guy was injured a lot. He averaged about, I think, 15 or 16 games a season. But he was a leader both on and off the pitch. So we've lost his leadership. But I think losing Fernandinho is at least as equal as losing company. And we saw the game against Leicester. I think it was 1-1. We had Fernandinho and Rodri as the kind of, let's say, double pivot, DM pivot.
Yeah.
Pep took Fernandinho off, and we fell apart. So, Pep's he's changed. It feels like he's changing the midfield style, but the defenders haven't changed, and the defenders can't cope. That's the honest truth. Our defenders are not defenders. They're not meant to defend too much. They're meant to pass the ball around and start and build a play up. And when you charge it, when you take them on, when it's 1v1, they can't cope. We saw that with Vardy. We've seen it with Leon did to us and other teams. And now the worst thing is you see them switching off. We saw like Kyle Walker. I mean, I had not a pop at him, but I picked out 3 times in about 8 or 9 games. He switched off in the FA Cup semi-final, the game against Lyon and against Leicester. He switched off. And you look across our defence, and Stones in the game against Wolves, he switched off twice. Mendy switches off. We've seen Garcia switch off, and we've seen others switch off. So it's a concern. There's so many individual errors of not being focused. That's got to be a worry. So there's no way in my mind we can win the league if we're going to play like that. And we're not going to play as a team and keep switching off. So I think looking at everybody else at the moment, Chelsea, it's going to take them a bit of time to sort themselves out and decide who's their best team and for them to gel. Arsenal, they haven't got the players. I think Arsenal probably will put in a decent season under Arteta. And United, you can't bank on them. They're up and down as well. So I think based upon all that, we'll finish second. Liverpool, see it. They have to lose 3 or 4 players for them to start struggling. So second is best for us. But sometimes you look at it and say, from where we came from, it's still incredible to be fighting at the top of the table. And people say, "Oh, you won the Carabao Cup last season. It must have been a failure of a season." And I think we come second in the league, quarterfinals of the Champions League, semi-finals of the FA Cup, and won the Carabao Cup. If you'd asked any City fan 15 years ago, you take that all day long. So, all I ever say is, as long as we do ourselves justice in all the competitions we play, you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for City. I used to love coming to Main Road. Yeah. Platt Lane was fantastic when it was rocking with away fans. Even stood at the side of the Kippax getting coins chucked at us was fun. But you guys were a laughing stock until the Sheikh turned up. So you can't scoff at what you're doing now, because we've been through the shit so much that what a terrible season to win the League Cup. That's how terrible is that? I'd love that. That'd be fantastic.
That's it.
The last time we were in the League Cup final was 97 against Villa. Yeah. That's the sort of stuff we've been used to. So, don't get greedy.
That's it. That's what I tell, the newer breed of fans. And I say, they're slagging off the board and they're complaining about this player and that player. They're slagging off, for instance, the last couple of seasons, they've been slagging off Otamendi. And they're really having a pop at him. And it's like, hang on. We won 100 points one season, and Otamendi, he played 34 out of 38 league games. So he can't be rubbish. Yeah. You've got to give the guy some respect. He was the number 1 centre-back, and the newer breed of fans are having a pop at him. It's crazy. And I always say, if they were born 10 years before they were born, they'd be wearing red of either Arsenal, United or Liverpool. And it just so happens that people do come along. City have been doing well for about 10 years. And people follow you. And it's the same with Leeds. When you start winning, pushing on again, you'll get a new breed of fans as well who will expect success. And it's just the way it is. Whoever's on top, they'll get new fans who'll expect that success.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. But we're really, really excited. We're like kids at Christmas at the moment. It's fantastic.
I think the only downside is we can't come to games.
That has been so. We wait 16 years and we can't go. I mean, I follow my home and away, and to have been at Anfield or to even Bramwell Lane, would have just been fantastic, absolutely amazing. And that's the real disappointment.
I think
I was going to say, but just it's you forget these things. But we've had to watch Colin Murray on Quest on a Saturday night to watch the football, and being on Match of the Day with Gary Lineker, it's like, wow,
it's different gravy, isn't it?
It's just, and that's from somebody. In my situation where we've been there and I've been to European Cup semi-finals and I've been to Wembley and I've seen us win things, and we've got kids. I think I worked out you've got to be something like 23 or 24 to have seen Leeds in the Premiership. So we've got this whole generation of fans who've never seen us on Match of the Day. Yeah, it's just, and it is kids at Christmas time at the moment for all Leeds fans.
Yeah. It's a funny thing. Finally, is this is probably the game where I've seen on social media, City fans are really disappointed that they can't go to the away because they really want to go to Leeds. The games that it would be nice and all that, but it just feels different. It just feels different to be able to to go to Leeds again. And I going back a long way. I used to live in Leeds, so I remember every time I have to go, come back to Manchester to see me folks and drive past the stadium, and it was always, and in those days there was always things going on with Leeds. But it'd be nice to get there again and get chased by your fans or whatever. But it sounds daft, but I'm not saying I miss days of going to away grounds and being chased. That's not happened for but you just miss everything about going to big clubs. And Leeds are, it doesn't matter what anybody says, Leeds are still a massive club.
Yeah, and with the success we've had, when Elland Road's full at the moment, it is proper rocking. And we've been around some shitholes in the Championship, but we're taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000, and Elland Road is full every time. So when you at our place, is it March time, something like that?
I have no idea. I mean, I've not looked
something like it. I think it's something like March. I think we've got you, Arsenal, and Scum in the same month. But maybe you might be able to get there. Maybe March. You never know.
Maybe,
all right. I'll tell you what. Come next season. Because we're definitely staying up.
You're staying up. The way what we're seeing, Phil, you're definitely staying up. It'd be a massive shock if the wheels fall off this season. I'm going to say, guys, I'm going to disappear before it starts to get dark here, and all you see is my glasses. But a massive thanks to Phil for coming on today at short notice and giving us a bit of a lowdown on Leeds. And all I ever say is I hope it's a good game. None of this VAR crap, none of this handball rubbish. Best team win, load of goals. We have a load of fun, and we roll on to the next game.
Definitely. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, definitely.
Leeds.
I was going to say, see, I'm in France at the moment. Now you said that reminds me. I'm in France at the moment and watching the stuff, games on French TV, and the commentators, I think it was one half-time thing or something, and they were talking about the Leeds chant, and they'll say Leeds, and that's it. That's all they say. And they said that's all they say all game long is Leeds. So to hear that again, it'll be a bit painful to hear that for 90 minutes, but you miss that kind of thing. But it is. noticeable in France. They're talking about Leeds.
Fantastic.
So you're getting there again.
We are a proper big team, and even while we've been down, people still know us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you one more thing to look out for.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it'll happen or not. We've launched our third kit yesterday, and it's maroon, like you lot.
Yeah.
So you might be singing Maroon and Blue Moon to our lot on Saturday.
Maroon and Blue Moon. It doesn't work. Not worth thinking about maroon. I mean, I don't mind our maroon kit in the past, but I think I like it when we had a brother one years ago where it was maroon and white. I quite like that. And we had one a few years ago which was maroon, and we had which was actually quite nice as well. But the one I bought from about 8 or 9 years ago, and it doesn't look nice. I don't know why I bought it. It doesn't look nice. It doesn't fit nice, and it's not very flattering either. So
our maroon kit's not very nice. I don't like it. I prefer that sort of pseudo Dennis Stewart that top, isn't it?
Yeah, this is going back. I mean, this is only about 10 years old. This top, but obviously it's the one we had in the 70s. Sort of time.